Hi Leo, welcome to your Deep Love Mid-June read for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Guys, don't try to make the messages fit if they don't. It's a general message. Some months we resonate greater with our rising sign, moon sign, and or our Venus sign, so definitely check out those as well. Okay, so we're going to be doing a Deep Love read. I'm going to first be doing a subjective Celtic cross spread for your partner or an energy that you're dealing with. It doesn't matter if you guys are together or not. And then I'm going to sweep that and pull one for you. I'm going to start off pulling, throwing the Astro dice and pulling an Astro card for crowning messages. And then at the end, I'll pull additional, I'll do a quick oracle read as well on the relationship. So right now we are getting into the energy of Leo's partner, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Anything we need to know, Spirit, about Leo's partner? How are they feeling about this relationship? How are they feeling about Leo? Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay. Let's cut. And cut. We got you in the outcome. Nice. Very nice. Okay. Okay. Let's throw some Astro dice. See what we get there. Okay. Sorry, I need to do that again. The card's got in the way. Okay. Pluto. Sagittarius. Fourth house of home. Fourth house of home, that's Cancer energy ruled by the moon. It has to do with love, safety. And again, Leo, this is how this person sees you. So they view you as their metaphorical home space. Absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of change going on here in this relationship is something that they absolutely see with that Pluto energy. Yeah. Sagittarius has to do with belief systems. It's that eighth house. It's that ninth house energy, rather. So what I'm seeing here is there's change, there's transformation, right? Whenever we have Pluto, it's all about transformation, right? Ending, simultaneous, new beginning, something, yeah, something just, they're being changed. Now, again, this is how they view the relationship. This is a subjective read. You could sit here and say, that is, that's so untrue, whatever. Remember, that's how subjective reads work in tarot. So Two of Coins reverse. This is the energy coming into this time period that they were feeling. So the Two of Coins energy is telling me that they were feeling very vulnerable, insecure, unappreciated by you. They were feeling like, because when it comes to relationships, the coins, doesn't only mean money. It also means mental, physical, and emotional connection. So when we have this two, it's like they were sensing an imbalance, a lack of appreciation. They really didn't know where they stood with you because something happened within your connection where they really had a hard time assessing the situation realistically and clearly because of other emotions that were involved. So right now, having to do with this relationship, we do have the Hermit reverse crossed by the Fool. So this is interesting to me because the Hermit reverse, these are like two very different energies. But when this is reversed, when they're both reversed, it sort of almost means the same thing to me because the Hermit reverse indicates taking a time out and going into, their own mental space to really think about things. It typically does indicate going it alone right now. It doesn't have to be forever, but it does indicate this moving on, at least for the moment, alone. And it's because they're not willing to take the chance with you. So I do feel like something happened where, Leo, they must have felt in some way, whether you meant to or not is besides the point, but in some way they felt very unheard, not respected, disconnected, not in a good space with you. So now they're really kind of thinking about it. They're holding their own counsel. I don't even get that they're really talking to anybody about it very much, maybe one or two people, but really, very kind of closed off from the whole situation. But we have this Fool energy here, and because the Fool is a Uranus energy, and Uranus is all about the future, right now they're in this space of just not knowing. I have this just sense of them being very deeply inside themselves and just not knowing what the future brings and not really believing that this is a possibility for them to move forward in. But then we have the Temperance energy. So the Temperance is actually a really good card because it's Sagittarius and it has to do with the belief systems. So this is kind of a very big, holistically, this is coming up as a big energy for me where there needs to be this acknowledgement of, what do they need? What do you need? What does the relationship need? This is the ultimate card of cooperation, the ultimate card of reciprocity, right? That moves towards healing. Again, it's because it's a Sagittarius energy, it does have to do with belief system and what's right, and what's right, and addressing these things in a way that is going to allow you guys to move forward with integrity and have that expansion in the relationship. But I feel like that was lacking in the relationship, in their mind, that this open communication was not there, that the reciprocity wasn't there, that there was something that was always getting in the way of there being sort of like absolutely open doors, between your souls, between the truth, and when I say truth, I mean, what you each really wanted and needed and how you each felt, right? There being this inhibition there. Now we do have the Devil energy as the foundation. So this is how they're viewing the relationship, that there was in the foundation of the relationship, there is a very deep imbalance because the Devil energy is anything that's imbalanced. So for some of you, the main issue in this relationship is that, to them is that maybe they view you as somebody who has some sort of addiction. They view you as somebody who has some sort of imbalance that's unchecked, having to do with anxiety or control issues or depression or fear of commitment, a fear of abandonment. It doesn't have to be to substances, that's the point here, is any kind of imbalance, though, that can get in the way of the relationship being healthy. This could have to do with lust. This can have to do with greed, right? All of those things are imbalanced. But in their mind, when they think about the relationship, there was this lack of balance within the relationship. And I feel like they're just very caught in this nexus of really thinking about that and not getting in the way of them. Because remember, guys, any of these reversals, as energetic beings, we have the power to turn every one of these upright. We do. It's through our choices, through our awakening, through realization, through all of that, okay? And sometimes we need to help other people turn their reversals the right side up. Maybe they're not going to be able to, maybe they will be able to, maybe you don't even want to bother with it, right? This is a general message. It depends on what your story is, but they were afraid of continuing on a path with you, right? Because of this lack of complete openness and this connection that they were really ultimately looking for, right? So right now, Leo, your partner's in death reverse. So death reverse is ending something and not really not wanting to start it. It's, and that's the nature of the Scorpionic Pluto energy, is the ending of a cycle. And in reverse, this is them not going, not willing to go for it again. Okay, and the way they view you or what they want with you is this new beginning. Ace of Coins, right? So this is how they're viewing you as somebody who is trying really to reestablish this connection, really reestablish it. Because Ace is brand new. Ace is like, all right, come on, let's start over. Let's start over in a better way, But we have this reverse where there's this ending, and the fear here of them is the Five of Cups energy, which is interesting because this is more positive than in the upright. In the reverse, it indicates coming back to life, reaching out to friends, getting back out there, finding their own sense of value, letting it go, and realizing that it wasn't meant. But this is in their fear position. So it's like, on the one hand, they know they're not supposed to be with you, but on the other hand, they're afraid of totally letting it go. So then we have the Nine of Coins, which is beautiful. Yes, nice. Venus and Virgo energy. I do like this because this does indicate communication. This indicates communicating in a way, right? Because Virgo is ruled by Mercury. Virgo also rules the 6th house of health. So I feel like the communication that you guys are going to be having really is going to end up leading to a healthier connection, Venusian connection, Venus and Virgo, right? In the day-to-day. Because again, Virgo is the 6th house of day-to-day. It's the 6th house of health. So we have Venus in there. It's what are you guys going to be talking about, opening up about, communicating about, connecting about, and or how are you going to be connecting, rather, that's going to allow there to be this beautiful, reconnection. But there is this idea, Leo, of, is the outcome energy, the strength energy is beautiful. Now, a couple of things I want to say about this. So we know that you guys, in your balanced form, you guys are so much fun. You are the ride or dies of the zodiac. You just are. I know a lot of people come after me when I say that if they've had a bad experience with Leo energy. But the truth of the matter is you are. You're very generous. You're very kind. I mean, when you guys are balanced, you guys are amazing like that, right? Amazing. And really into friendship within the connection too. That's very important to you guys. And I think that's so awesome. But at the imbalance aspect is a lot of egotism. And sometimes it ends up seeping through, even in the best of circumstances. And I am getting that, not to a crazy degree, because otherwise this would be reversed. But I feel like your partner is viewing you as somebody who needs their ego stroked. Or you might be feeling, they might be in this realization where they need their ego stroked by you. But because it's a Leo energy, and because you guys are Leo, I am feeling that they feel like that for you. Also, like if this were going to happen, if things could, get back on track, they're in the space of realizing that they need to almost like handle you in a certain way, if that makes sense. And that's not a bad thing. It's really not. Because it's like, everyone has an ego, and everyone's ego's needs are different. And part of being in a relationship, a healthy one, is recognizing each other's needs. This is not to say that you're maniacal or that you're self-centered in any way. It's just that it's of value to you to feel very appreciated and all of that. And at the same time, this can also indicate there's being so much passion here that, and this is what I say, like, where I'm just going to say, where you guys end up in bed more often than not, rather than discussing the elephants in the room and the big issues that need addressing in the relationship, getting very caught up in the moment, getting caught up in the attraction of each other, the idea of each other, and all of that you end up not addressing the important stuff. So this is what I'm getting, how they see this relationship. I see it turning out well. I see them being super trepidatious in it, though, because of issues that have gone on in the past, where I do see they felt unappreciated. They're in this space right now of feeling very sort of like, I don't know, very in their head about it, not wanting to take that chance, recognizing that there needs to be more of an equitable kind of type of communication and just fairness within the relationship overall. Some sort of imbalance needs addressing. You need temperance in order to work out the devil energy, But I do feel like right now they're in the space of just really not believing in their heart of hearts that there could actually be, these issues mitigated, the ability for these issues to be mitigated in a way that are going to be able to bring it to fruition, unless the transformation happens through a change in ideas, a change in belief system, right? Really tapping into that Sagittarius energy. Okay. So now let's roll some dice on you. We're going to roll for Leo. Where are they at in this relationship? 4th house of home. Cancer energy. 4th house and Cancer, those are synonymous, okay? So we have Cancer energy is the 4th house of home. That's about safety. That's about I feel. It's ruled by the moon. It's feeling very deep inside your feels. It's, and I think this is very interesting too, because for Leo, the home is very, very important, first of all. So to get those two, is very cool to me, I think. And then we have this Mars energy, which is all about a fresh perspective, a new beginning, a new path. You're going on a new path, Leo. You're wanting a new path. You're wanting a new path. Venus, beautiful. So I like this because Venus rules Virgo, which is the everyday, and also it rules Libra, which is the 7th house of serious relationships. On top of that, Venus also does indicate our self-esteem and how well do we feel about ourselves being involved in something. And this being something that you're going to be paying attention to. You know, yeah, it rules love, it rules money, it's a money planet, yeah, but it's our self-esteem too, which kind of gets overlooked a lot, I feel like, in a lot of readings, but, you know, it's everything we value, including ourselves, right? Okay, so let's see what's happening here for our Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus friends. Okay, so we have coming into this energy, 8 of Swords, so really feeling very sort of trapped, you know, Jupiter and Gemini, trying to figure out how can you make things different for yourself, right? I mean, it's because you keep in mind, you know, Jupiter is about luck and expansion, yes, but Jupiter also rules Sagittarius, which is about moving forward. It's about belief system, right? So it's getting very wrapped in what you believe to be the truth of a situation, right? Because the swords are truth, right? And you're having this very deep conversation with yourself, right? Because it's this sense of entrapment within the reality of how you were believing something to be, you know? Now, right now, we have the 3 of Coins in reverse. So when it comes to relationship read, this can mean it's a Mars and Capricorn energy, so it's about, I always call this the architect card, you know, about designing the blueprints, right, for how you're going to move forward in this connection, and build. And in the reverse, this tells me that there's something going on here that's preventing you, Leo, from really wanting to build in this. You know, we always have to look at the crossing energy, which is the Page of Wands. So there is this lack of will, there's this lack of wanting. You can even be dealing with a partner who is being a little shady, cheating, entertaining another energy outside the relationship. You know, that could be the Page of Wands. Wands is a phallic symbol. And when we get the Page reverse, this can indicate somebody who's being like really, really irresponsible. So, Leo, this could be you. This could be an energy that you're dealing with your partner, right? But that's how you're seeing the situation right now. The 2 of Cups reverses the crowning energy, indicates a false start here. Venus in Cancer. So you guys like committing to each other at a certain point and then deciding not to. It's only a 2 though. So I feel like you were in something that didn't work out. And you know, there was this shady behavior as a result of it. So on some level, it can indicate, you know, again, somebody entertaining an outside energy. This could have to do with any sort of betrayal, any sort of, even miscommunication, guys. It doesn't even have to be anything more than that. But there is this lack of moving forward, I do get, right? And then we have the Page of Cups in the reverse. And the pages do, you know, whenever we get the core cards, first of all, it could be a person or just an energetic influence, or you or the person, right? But there is this like lack of giving your emotions to a situation. You know, you're not doing it anymore. You don't want to do it. You feel conflicted about it, but you don't want to do it. And we have the 8 of Wands in reverse. So the 8 of Wands is a Mercury and Sagittarius energy. And again, you know, whenever we get the Wands, it's will, it's motivation, there's forward movement. In the reverse, it indicates there being this kind of delay, right? Now, Mercury ruling, it rules Virgo, that's sixth house energy, and it rules communication as well, the 3rd house, Gemini. But Gemini also rules contracts and stuff. Because I have to tell you, I am getting this because I'm looking ahead here at the near future card, the 6 of Swords energy. For those of you who are in the situation of where there's like a divorce or something like that, I do feel like there is a delay in actually executing the divorce. Could be because of the pandemic, but I do feel like that. But regardless, however it resonates for you personally, this idea of Mercury in Sagittarius is about this delay in moving forward, no matter how you slice it. It's delay in moving forward. But I wanted to mention that because Mercury does rule the third house of Gemini of communication, and that does rule contracts. So it also rules like the signing of leases. So, maybe if you're in the situation of, I feel like this is going to resonate most with the Leos who are in a situation where you're not able to leave the relationship right now. I'm sorry guys, this is a very specific message for those of you not resonating with it, but for those of you who are in a situation where you're living with the person, I feel like you're not able to actually leave right now. So we go from the 8 of Wands, and then they view you as the 7 of Wands energy reverse. So Mars and Leo energy, they view you as somebody who doesn't want to defend themselves, who doesn't want to explain themselves, somebody who doesn't really want to move forward in the connection, who doesn't want to look at things. This is how they're, really this is just a very subjective perspective, but this is how you're viewing them. Rather, you're viewing them as that, somebody who doesn't want to defend themselves, somebody who, and you really not agreeing with their perception of what happened in reality. And that's the trippy part about relationships always, right? I mean, what do they always say? There's 3 sides to the truth: his side, her side, and the truth, right? 3 sides to every story in a relationship. So regardless though, I do see you seeing them as somebody who just doesn't want to step up, doesn't want to defend themselves, doesn't want to do what's necessary to make this work. Your fear is the Queen of Wands in reverse. So I understand this, right? This is a Pisces and Aries energy, and you had a lot of faith in this. And, whenever we get a Pisces energy reverse, it's tough because it's about recognizing that, the dream may really, it looks like it's not going to happen with this person. And then that new perspective, that new path is not going to happen. And so that's a scary energy to be in. And then we have the Queen of Coins as the final outcome. So, I mean, look, Sagittarius and Capricorn in the reverse. This is recognition that the person is not able to put in the work that's necessary to move it forward. They're just not able to show up in that way. There's manipulation here. There's playing with reality. There's some deflection going on here. Yeah. I mean, again, Sag being ruled by Jupiter is, there not being this luck and expansion. And I want to also mention that Sagittarius being ruled by Jupiter, Jupiter is about luck and expansion, but it's expanding. It's going to expand whatever other energy it's with. And Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. So it's an expansion of the Saturnian energy. So I am getting that it's like too much happened at this point where I get this very clear feeling like nobody is willing to do what is really, really necessary to actually make it work, to make it happen. And Leo, I feel like you left mentally already. You checked out. I mean, the 6 of Swords is leaving a situation in your mind because you just can't, you may not be able to leave it right now for a plethora of reasons, right? It could be because of kids, it could be because of property, it could be because of, whatever the situation is, right? Finances, whatever the case is, a bunch of different reasons why we can't leave situations like that, right? But I do get, going back to the dice, I do get this 4th house, this double Cancer energy, has to do with safety. And then we have Mars energy about going forward on a new path. So this is definitely what I get. And Venusian energy is you really checking yourself and saying, how do I even feel about being in this connection? Do I feel love? Do I feel all these things? And this is like something that you need to pay attention to. Yeah, so I do feel like, your partner is very trepidatious and you're more out the door, to be honest, is what I'm getting. But let's see what love oracles come up. Let's do a crowning for the love oracles. Yeah. Uranus is the future, moving forward. Taking what is now and doing something different. So that really is going to depend on what else comes out here in the tarot that I pulled for this. Let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space. Love never claims, it simply allows and gives. If you could do nothing, if you could do anything, what would it be? The answer dwells in your heart, not in your mind. For the heart is the gateway to the soul. And then we have time. You are trying too hard. Give it time. Love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Religious factors. Your love life is influenced. Well, when I say religious, I mean like your spiritual path and how you believe things should be in life. Your belief system. Deception. Someone is wearing a false self-mask in this relationship. Ew. That is very like a Seven of Swords energy. Ten of Swords. The Hierophant under religious factors. Holy cow. I just feel like you guys saw life very differently. And then we have a Page of Cups under deception. Guys, I have to tell you that I do feel like that the Uranus energy, you know, now that we have these cards out, Uranus really does indicate moving into something different. Other than whatever energy you've had yourself wrapped in here, move into another energy. I really, is what I'm feeling here. Yeah. Because it's interesting. I actually want to jump down into the middle aisle first. We have this idea of deception, somebody wearing a mask. And this everything going against your belief system, everything going against what you believe a good, solid, healthy relationship to be, it being contrary to that. And you being in a space of really needing to tap into yourself and really loving yourself and doing some work on yourself right now, right? But I do get this idea. We have the Ten of Swords, which indicates one sword at a time, a truth after truth after truth after truth, a stab in the back, stab in the back, stab in the back, and it just being the end of this cycle. And you're really tapping into your belief system. I'm really holding that actually very close, but I do see somebody else coming in, Leo. I do. Now, this Page of Cups, because it's a page and it's not an ace, this could absolutely indicate you returning to somebody who you were with at one point, because it indicates a new cycle. But I don't get that it's with this person, right? But you want to give it time, and you want to try to not make it fit too quickly, because you're trying to shake off some sort of residual energy from something else that you were in, right? Let there be closeness between you, but always give each other space, right? So you give each other space here. If you could do anything, what would it be? The answer dwells in your heart, not in your mind, right? And you just need to give this time. I feel like a lot of you are just really coming to terms with the reality of a situation. And I do see you moving ahead, right? Uranus, this is a good thing. Mars, fresh path, fresh perspective, really being very focused on what makes you feel safe in a relationship. But because this Cancer energy, Cancer is very interesting energy, because Cancer is very, Cancers change their mind a lot. They think they completely want something in one moment, and then they completely want something in another moment. And it's a challenge to the archetype of Cancer, right? Because it's crabs. And look, at crabs can never decide whether they want to be in the ocean or whether they want to be in the land. That's why they're always going back and forth. They're never 100% comfortable in either place, right? So I am feeling that here, but I do see a new either love being reconnected, rekindled, something where there is this nice energy coming in, offering you their emotions. And there is a newness about this, but I'm not getting it that it's with this person. So that is what I have for you, my Leo friends. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.